Hey folks, Happy New Year. We're filming this in 2026. I am standing in the Bonnell Tavern, a very historic site here in Hunterdon County. Want to give you guys a little bit of background about the tavern, but rather than hearing me talk about it, I'd like to introduce to you Hank Bonnell, the owner of the current tavern and the one that is putting together some pretty extensive work here on the tavern to renovate it. Hank, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good to have you.
Good to be here.
Could you introduce yourself? Tell us
Sure.
a little bit about who you are and what the building that we're standing in, what
Sure.
it is.
My name is Hank Bonnell. I'm the 8th generation owner of the Bonnell Tavern in Clinton, New Jersey. And the tavern was an important militia gathering ground for the Revolutionary War in New Jersey and Hunterdon County. And I'm in the process of renovating it. The house is important because the militia assembled here. Both Minutemen and the upper regiment officers were mustered here in 1775. And I'm the 8th generation owner, as I've said. My ancestor, Lieutenant Colonel Abraham Bonnell, purchased this property in 1766 and ran it as a stagecoach stop and a hotel and a tavern for many, many years. The militia that were gathered here were involved in the battles of Princeton and Monmouth, Millstone, among others. They were also involved in helping to gather supplies for Charles Stewart. Charles Stewart was the commissary general for Washington and gathered a lot of the supplies for Washington.
Okay. Yes, and then let's say, so that would have been 1775.
1775, 76, and beyond. Yes.
Okay, so they were making their way across New Jersey as they were retreating out of New York.
That's right.
Okay.
Right. And Pittstown became the sort of the center of the forage war and the supply lines for the troops, for the commissary items, food, beef, bread, anything to keep the troops going.
Yes, well, and we'll touch about this later in the year, but in our series. But by the time we get to the Battle of Princeton, the Battle of Trenton, it was a little rough for the soldiers. Yeah. So Pittstown was a really important place in being able to secure
it was,
supplies.
and this intersection in particular was important because it was along the road from Somerville to Easton, and a lot of travelers took the Y towards Pittstown, and eventually Coral's Ferry and the other ferries to cross the Delaware.
Right along the river.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So, folks, a central and very important site to the Revolutionary War in New Jersey, and 1775, right at the beginning, right before we declared independence from the United Kingdom, or Britain at that point. Hank, can you tell us a little bit about the role that taverns played in colonial America?
Sure. They were, in essence, they were social gathering spots where the community would get together and they would drink, they would eat, they would talk about the times. And I believe that this tavern was a central part of the northern part of Hunterdon for that. It was a stagecoach stop, it was a hotel, it was a gathering spot, it was a militia gathering spot where we know that the generals trained the troops on the grounds here and gathered. We know that they mustered the Minutemen and they mustered the upper regiment here. And the upper regiment at that point consisted of Alexandria, Lebanon, Tewksbury, Reddington, Kingwood, all of the upper section of Hunterdon.
Yeah, northern Hunterdon County was all.
And as you know, Hunterdon County at that point went all the way down to Trenton.
Right.
So it was the largest county in the state at that point, both economically and population-wise.
Yes, and certainly politically too, because Trenton was the state capital even then.
Yeah.
Nowhere near as large, obviously, but still
Yeah.
a very important place where the New Jersey Provincial Congress was based out of.
And
if I remember right.
as you mentioned that, another thing that Bonnell did, he was involved in the Provincial Congress
Oh,
meetings in August of '75, which is when they ratified the Minuteman
Yes.
Act. And a few days later, they came back here and assembled the first Minutemen
wow.
in Hunterdon.
Okay, here in this building.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
And then you already mentioned this, but your family's connection to the area. You're 8th generation here. Has
I
the
am.
family been in? Has the building been in your family's name that entire time?
So my ancestor bought it in 1766, which is ironically when the Sons of Liberty were starting to form in this area.
Yeah,
And he became
okay.
a member of the Sons of Liberty. This was now 10, 11 years before the revolution. So my family came in 1630 from England,
Okay.
and they settled in Massachusetts for a generation, and then Connecticut for another generation, and then they went to Elizabethtown, and Elizabethtown was the first large city, the
Major
first
city,
city
right.
in New Jersey at the time. They were Nathaniel was one of the Elizabethtown associates,
Oh.
and he built what is now the oldest house in Elizabeth in 1682.
Wow.
And then a couple generations later, through Connecticut farms and Springfield and Milburn, they came out this way as people migrated west. They were one of the early migrators to the west side of New Jersey
Okay.
and settled here in 1766. They bought this tavern.
And it's been in your family since.
And it's been in the family since then. Yep.
What has been your impetus for trying to restore it and bring it back to a functioning tavern?
Well, take a step back 75 years, they built Route 78
Yeah.
along this, what was the Somerville Easton Highway, still
Just
is.
paved over that
just a
same
bigger road now.
Yeah.
So they built this highway and it's been vacant. The house has been vacant since then, since
Okay.
my great-grandfather passed away.
Okay.
In 1952, he passed away. It's been vacant since '57. So my goal is to bring it back to its glory days and make use of this highway. That's always been an impediment, we think, or an obstacle. I'm going to try to convert that into an opportunity.
Yeah.
And build a microbrewery here.
Excellent.
Because we believe that the area needs another social gathering spot,
Yeah, absolutely.
which it has always been.
Yeah.
And what better than a microbrewery to
I'd
do
be
that?
fascinated. Well, Hank, thank you for your time. I certainly hope to come here one day, have a drink with you.
I hope
thank
you do.
you
Thank
for
you.
giving us your time.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely.